All right, guys, welcome back to the show. It is February 16th in the great heat wave in Iowa. Nathan Creeps joined by my co-host, Mr. Big Daddy Borscheller. Bryce, are you in a good mood today?
I'm in a great mood. What a great week to be an Iowan. It's been so nice out. How are you feeling? I know that the Hawkeyes kind of let you down last weekend, but your spirits okay?
Yeah, tough, but it's hard not to be in a good mood with this weather. And if you're not one of the 30 people who listened to last week's podcast, I damn near overdosed on NyQuil, which really messed up a 2 days of my life last week. So I'm back. I'm feeling great. I learned my lesson. Sunshine's making me feel good, and we're getting. Oh yeah, the Hawks hurt a little bit, but we're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Everything is just so much better, no matter what you're going through. I was a little hungover. We had quite the Valentine's Day weekend, but even a Monday can be okay with 60 degrees and sunny.
You're damn right again. How was your Valentine's Day?
It felt like the Valentine's Day that never ended. And it was good. I think I finally did it. We did homemade pizzas and homemade drinks. We opened up the big cocktail book. I don't know if you've seen that in our house. It's just been collecting dust for years. We opened up the cocktail book, did some science. It was basically you had to have a 9th grade science education to make this cocktail. Some homemade pizzas on Friday. Then I picked up some flowers at 9 a.m. on Saturday. And then we tried to get into Simon's. I don't know if I've ever told you about Simon's. I think it's been on my top 5 restaurants in Iowa before. But basically what happens is you show up at 5 when the doors open and you pray to God that you can get sat down. If you don't get sat down, they put you on a list and they might or they might not call you. So on Valentine's Day, I figure we have to show up at least an hour early, and we have a couple outfit changes. Didn't get quite as early as we thought. We were about 30 minutes before 5 it opened, and we wouldn't have gotten sat until 9:30. So we made an alternative plan, and we got some Mexican food for Valentine's Day. So I kind of failed on the dinner part of it, but it was an overall good weekend. Oh, and then we got to tour our wedding venue on Sunday. So we got a nice little happy hour and an open house at the Vineyard at St. Charles. So we had an entire weekend of lovey-dovey stuff, and I'm ready for a regular week in podcasting and life because that was insane.
Dude,
that was a never-ending Valentine's.
I think you have mentioned this restaurant before, and I can't imagine the scene. What you guys pulled up? Was there a line around the block?
Oh God. It was so long. It was wrapped around the building. We have to do a couple loops just to find parking. And we knew this. The plan was we were going to bring a bottle of wine and pregame this thing because we knew we were going to have to wait.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
So we brought our drinks and we were standing in line. By the time they opened, they sat the first group. The guy starts walking out to the people in line. He's like, "You guys are probably 6:30, 7:30 over here. We're looking at 8:30." Gets to us, he's like, "Probably gonna be 9:30 for you guys." And we're like, "Nope." And we just left.
That's out of a movie. That's freaking hilarious. Where is Simon's located at?
It's off Merle and 63rd. It's like if you have to almost like just know Des Moines to like stumble upon it. Like you've probably never even driven past it.
Okay.
But it's a well-known place and they don't take reservations unless you have 6 or more people. Obviously this is a date night, so it was a lot of twosomes. Mm-hmm. Just an outrageous, hilarious experience. And we knew what we were getting into, so there wasn't too much let down.
Yeah, Valentine's is getting ridiculous with these restaurants and couples going out to eat. My brother had plans to take his fiance over to the Brown Bottle. Classic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Classic Valentine's location here in Cedar Falls. But they end up getting a cat instead. So, and then they followed that up with their Mexican restaurant too. So you're not the only couple in the state to plan B.
That actually makes me feel so much better. I felt so lame. We could have gone to anywhere and it would have been a little bit like classier than what we did, but that's okay. It makes me feel better that Colby did that. So why they ended up getting a cat?
They got a cat for their cat.
Okay. Yeah. They like twos. They like some companionship.
So it's not a house you want to be in right now. The 2 cats trying to intertwine their lives right now. So we're giving their firm space. But yeah, what all cat couples do eventually get a cat for their cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just what happens. I guess that's romantic in a way. Good for Colby.
So we went on Friday, my parents came up. They're here for the Iowa game this weekend. We went to so we had a double date with my parents on Valentine's Day Eve. Friday to the number one small town bar on my list in Iowa. That is Alley
Oh,
Cats.
that's why you were there.
Alley Cats in Denver. So went up there.
Gotcha. I saw your story.
Yeah. Oh God, so good. Small little wait. Wait like 20 minutes. Not a big deal. Got in. I got the breaded cod sandwich, and I've had the best tenderloin in my life from Alley Cats several years ago when we started the tour there.
Yeah.
Now I officially have had the best breaded cod sandwich I've ever had in my life. Oh my God, it was so good.
Okay.
And
Damn, I'll give that a shot next time.
the thing I love about Alley Cats is that they really promote like how special you can make your sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
I threw bacon on this bad boy, cheese, onion, and that's all I did, I guess. But God, it was so fucking good. And
That sounds awesome.
sitting right across from us were the Amish. The Amish were there. The Amish showed up.
What?
Yeah, sounds like I think like just some resident, maybe a caretaker. I don't know, some relationship with the Amish. They took the Amish out to eat, and they came in, and they didn't have to wait for some reason. They got to go right to one of their tables. I wonder if they built that table, but they sat down at that table, and and the TV was on, and they were showing Olympic snowboarding. And I'd never seen a family so glued to.
Oh, I bet they couldn't believe what they were
It was
seeing.
the best day of their life, and I love the Amish. I'm the biggest Amish supporter in this country, and I got another funny story about the Amish. This is an all Amish podcast, people. Okay. Also on Friday, I was driving Fairbank Amish Boulevard, which is in between Independence and Owine, and it is the Amish capital of the world. It's not close. It's a 6-mile stretch with nothing but Amish schoolhouses, residents, you name it. And you go through about 4 or 5 schoolhouses, and all the kids out there waving. It was super nice out, right? They're all waving, asking me to honk in my truck. And I finally get through all the schoolhouses, and I get to like one of their lumber yards. Well, they got a forklift there for the Amish. And these are like 35 to 30-year-old Amish guys working. They all stop what they're doing. They look at me and they ask for the big honk. Just some people living their best life, and I really appreciate them.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that they got sat first at any restaurant they went into, though. That's a new perk that I've never heard
I don't know why.
I
don't know if they had reservations, but we had to wait, and they came right in. They didn't have to get on the seating chart. They just went right down the set and watched some snowboarding.
You know, you have to answer this for me and just give me your opinion on this. I have run into more instances in Des Moines where you don't get to make a reservation unless you have a party of a certain size. I feel like almost no matter what, in any small town I go to, you can get a reservation.
I don't know. Can you get a reservation at Alley Cats? We didn't try.
Yeah, Darian's parents just did it like not too long ago. But to your point, I guess to the point,
small town thing, because I think small town is more reliable with people making a reservation. Whether a town like size of Cedar Falls or Des Moines, you really bank on those people coming for that reservation, because if they don't, then you're screwing how many people are already trying to get in, right? Because you know you're going to get those numbers if you just open it up to open seating at a larger population town.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I definitely was thinking that because we had just gotten a reservation at Alley Cats a couple weeks ago.
It has become more common lately. That's for sure. At least I noticed that, maybe now because I live in a larger town than when I always grew up in. Because I'm always trying to get a reservation at Texas Roadhouse, but it's damn near impossible. You can't. They don't let you do that.
That's tough. I bet that was a busy place in Cedar Falls. So you did your Valentine's technically Friday. I know that you had the big Hawkeye game at 4:00 on Saturday did that go over okay with Madison? She obviously knew that was going to be
well, there's some friction in the air, and that's all on your boy. I'll eat this one. Just bad timing with the University of Iowa men's basketball game and Valentine's Day. But I made up for it. We are going this Thursday to the UNI Gallagher Blue Dorn for the Choir of Man concert.
Okay. Yep. I think you redeem yourself, or you will redeem yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't be flaky on Thursday, and I think you're good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Actually, we've actually seen the Choir of Men before on a cruise ship, so we have seen the show, but it's an excuse to get out and do a little date night.
Nice. The only time I've been to the Gallagher Blue Dorn on the UNI campus was to see Adam Ray, who does the Dr. Phil impressions now, and Adam Devine, Cedar Rapids' finest. You will hear a little bit more about Adam Devine later in the show because we are doing our top 5 actors from the state of Iowa.
Yeah, good sneak peek there. All right, Bryce, before we get on with this episode, this podcast is powered by Mediacom.
It is, and Mediacom has an incredible deal just for you if you live in Cedar Falls or Waterloo. This Mediacom deal is 1 gig of internet for just $50 a month, and you can lock in that price for 3 years. You'll get Eero Wi-Fi equipment and unlimited data all included. Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents can call 833-354-0574 and lock in your price for 3 years with Mediacom. That's 833-354-0574. Nate, I'm going to play a little video because this deal is actually extended to the greater part of the state, and soon we will have an ad read for the entire state. So I'm going to splice that in right.
Lock in speed, lock in price, lock in gig. Mediacom fiber-powered 1 gig internet. Now just $50 a month. Locked in for 3 years. No hesitation, no bill shock. Shop online today.
Cool. Yeah, finally got a video for the people. I just talked to Scotty today, our great our business owner, coworker. We're talking about Mediacom and our partnership with them, and I mentioned that it's time for that my ground is starting to thaw back out, that we can get the cable connecting from the outside to my house. We gotta get that dug in, right? I can't just mow over that. And
yes,
I'm licking my chops because that means Jeremy might be coming back out, and I've been waiting 3 months for this opportunity again to see.
Oh man, that'll be wonderful. What a reunion that will be.
18.
I thought you were going to say something like I have to put a TV outside on my little patio. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, but I understand. I didn't realize that the cable was still out.
Mm-hmm. Well, they put it in right when the ground kind of froze up, so didn't make sense to dig into the ground at that point. And I said, no worries, it's going to be covered in snow. Sense. Now that we're getting 67 degrees days here in the middle of February. Mm-hmm. That means Jeremy is done hibernating and he's coming back out, and I cannot wait to see him.
Yeah, I saw a few people talking about getting their lawnmowers out with this weather that we've been having. It's just fun to see people itch for that yard work again. By July, we'll be sick of it, but right now it has us itching.
Well, hold on, because it looks like there is a little fall spring going on. They're saying some big snow predictions here for northwest central Iowa later this week. I've seen the reports like maybe 9-10 inches of snow. Are you seeing that too?
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to hit our area, but I have seen that for like southern Minnesota, northern Iowa.
I saw my hometown of going right in the bullseye. I'll be fine just keeping that shit away from me.
3 weeks ago, made the prediction that winter was over. Sorry, Algona, I jinxed you. I think it is over for us for the most part. I don't know if we're going to have that snow that sticks around.
This is the tough part about like this fall spring. Usually fall spring is like 50-degree days. We're getting 70-degree days. We're getting
it feels like May.
You know, this is why it's too warm for the fall spring. I need the fall spring to be like 55, 60-ish, because you're going to get that bullshit random March, late February snowfall and kind of ruin everything that Mother Nature has been working up for us the last couple of days. Yeah, we're getting record weather season right now. So that's
2 Mondays in a row, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we did break another weather record. Let's actually go to that first. February 16th weather records here in Des Moines, Iowa. You guys, I believe, had a high of 67 today. Mm-hmm. And if you did get the 67, well, that's back-to-back Mondays breaking the record, because the previous record was 66 degrees set back in 1981. Lowest temperature, negative 19 degrees in 1958. Most precipitation, 0.64 inches, 1976. Most snow, 5.6 inches set back in 2023. And your average high of 36 degrees.
Yeah, it was so nice. And I remember that snow from a couple of years back. That it can go either which way. I know that we're always going to get that stretch of really nice, and I know that equally we can get 5 inches of snow. It is February after all. I'm banking on it. I'm holding true to my prediction. I think that we're kind of in the clear here in Des Moines.
If we could stay above 32 degrees, I'll be all right.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
But damn, dude, 9 inches of snow is a lot right now. Fuck, that's gonna be a slushy mess up there in this northern part of the state. I'll have to keep in touch with my parents. They'll be fighting the grump of that here later this week. All right, your Iowa fact of the week. Well, I want to know how many railroads are in the state of Iowa. 19 currently active railroads are in the state. Is that more or less than you thought?
Somehow I feel like that's less than I thought. I know that it's not as big of a thing in 2026, but those railroad guys are still the backbone of this country. And I guess I would have guessed maybe a little bit more.
You know what? The more I think about it, I think think you're right. I was originally going to say that's more than I thought. Now I'm like, wait, I work right next to one. I'm driving over railroads every single day. It's actually kind of crazy. There's only 19 active. Someone might have to fact check me on this. But I'm going to hold with it. 19 active current.
No, I think
that's what it said.
I think that could be accurate.
That's what GPT said. The total track mileage, if you add all of them together, is 3,800 miles. The impact it has, the system moves the equivalent of 3.5 million truckloads of freight annually. And Bryce, if you were to put all of those railroad tracks in a straight line, like I said, it's going to approximately be about 3,800 miles. Oh, that's enough to get you across the Atlantic Ocean with 800 miles to spare.
Wow. Hey, that's a lot of rail still. I don't know if you ever did this as a kid, but when my dad would take us to the Do It Best store in Sioux Center, Iowa, it was right next to a railroad track, and he had it timed down when this train was going to come by, and we'd always put a penny out on the track, and then the train would go by, and we'd go get our flattened penny and just turn it into like this little bronze piece.
Oh yeah, we definitely did that. There's a nice little spot out by the Country Club golf course, a very wooded area, where my cousin Michael, we'd go adventure out into the forest, and we do it all the time, put little pennies, and all sorts of things like that. So that's what we did when we were that age. My sister went to that same railroad back in high school, and they used to jump off it because it went over the East Fork Des Moines River.
Oh, yeah.
They were way more sketchy.
Railroad jumping.
And they took me one day when I was in like first grade, and she was babysitting, the worst babysitter of all time that time. And her friends, boys in our class, would put me in the middle of a sandbar in the middle of the river, and would just leave me there.
You probably thought it was so awesome.
I did. I was nuts back in the day. That's why they did, because I knew I was comfortable with it. But the more I look at it, I'm like, God damn, that's crazy. But
yeah, like wild babysitter. This is crazy. Yeah, shout out to Nicole. I could totally see it.
They were very adventurous back in the day. So yeah, great. Love the railroad tracks of Iowa. We definitely had our collections of flattened pennies. Did you hear about the explosion in Brighton, Iowa?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So this is actually crazy. I was on Instagram later that night, so Saturday night, going through my Instagram, and I saw it, and I never looked where it was. I'm like, holy shit, that's a crazy fire. And I scrolled past, I thought nothing of it. Sure enough, I found out that explosion was actually in Brighton, Iowa, just northeast of Fairfield, Iowa. Yeah, the Washington County Communications Center confirmed around 10:51 a.m. Saturday that a pipeline explosion resulted in a large fire north of the Skunk River in Brighton.
Per usual, the Iowa Chill Snapchat fans and followers were all over this one and sent lots of video. And I guess I at first thought it was a crash, and then got more information from a few people on the ground. Scary. I guess I never checked to see if anybody got hurt.
Nope. No injuries were reported. It's kind of close to that.
Then it's just
kind of close to the Fairfield town of that huge
Maharishi.
Yeah, were they up to something suspicious over there in Brighton? Maybe trying to summon a god of some sort, because it looked like the gates of hell.
Crap about the Maharishi.
Looks like the gates of hell were coming out of Earth.
Yeah, it did. It was. If no one got hurt, it was just kind of a fun fire to look at. I definitely enjoyed looking at all the videos. It was crazy flames.
So I think we're good to go on that one. So is it all right? You go with this next topic here about the Chicago Bears. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Did you see anything about this?
I've just seen it for the last month.
Iowa lawmakers are making a splash. I don't know if you've heard much about the Chicago Bears, but they are having a whale of a time trying to get this new stadium approved. And now I believe the mayor and some of the people in their Senate are trying to raise awareness and be like, hey, like if we can't get this done, we're willing to take our stadium and our team elsewhere. So within a recent subcommittee in the Iowa State Senate, we've pushed a bill through to try and bring the Chicago Bears to Iowa. I've seen some lawmakers say that they'd like it in Davenport. Obviously, Des Moines is a popular spot. Either which way, Kim Reynolds is happy because she is just trying to make a splash. Where we are normally the flyover state, we're trying to get some recognition. And there's a ton of funding for this kind of thing. I don't know if it's exactly all allocated and ready to be deployed, but we're trying to make some waves because we do not obviously have a professional sports team. And I don't know, maybe if we get enough views on this episode, we can help bring the Chicago Bears to Iowa.
God, out of all teams, the Bears.
That's exactly what everyone has said it's like, man,
I don't want the Bears
couldn't
here.
it have been like the Rams or somebody, you know, like
I
I agree. And obviously you can kind of see I've got my allegiances in a different NFC North team with the Vikings. I'll tell you this, Nate, if we get the Chicago Bears to come to Des Moines, Davenport, Fort Dodge, I don't care where, I will switch like that and become the biggest Bears fan.
I've always wanted a professional team here in the state of Iowa, but I think you would have to do like a professional baseball team for it to make sense. Because there's, especially in the NIL days, I don't want any more money being taken away from the University of Iowa, and the Chicago Bears would eat that shit up. So we just don't have a big enough population to support another NFL franchise. But I think a baseball team would be perfect fit for Des Moines. It's time to bump up the Iowa Cubs.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Here's what you can think. The macroeconomic effect for the state brings in a bunch of fans from outside. That funds a bunch of businesses, the deployment of funds from, you know, the organization throughout the state, and then all of a sudden we got a bunch more wealthy donors to donate back to the university. I think we can have both.
Our professional football team will now be the main NIL supporter of our college football team. We've been looking at it wrong.
Inadvertently, we're going to get all the funding from out of state to come to the state. So I think it can be a good thing. But obviously, it's a shot in the dark. I think that these lawmakers are just trying to raise awareness for this. It's called like the mega something something something. I forgot exactly what the entire program is, but lots of funding to bring in biofuel and all kinds of cool stuff to the state.
Just a classic Chicago Bear story. Nobody wants them. Nobody knows where their home should be at. Just
what a disaster. You got to do whatever you can to make Chicago work, and they have done everything in their power not to make it work. So I guess we'll just keep seeing what happens there. Not exactly sure, but it's a shot in the dark for them to come to Iowa, I'm sure.
Shout out to the UNI Panthers, the Northern Iowa men's basketball team. They're starting to cook things over there in the Missouri Valley Conference. They handed Drake their 6th loss in a row, so that's saying a lot right there, unfortunately, about our Bulldogs. But UNI men's basketball team's looking pretty good, and it's a special night for them on Sunday in the McLeod Center as they retired UNI grad legend AJ Green's jersey. And
legend.
Did you know that this is the first ever jersey retired in the McLeod Center?
I did not.
It's actually crazy.
And yeah, I guess well deserved. Maybe the couple others.
Tuttle?
I don't know if anyone's really made that much of an impact. Yeah, I was going to say Tuttle. Tuttle should be up there, maybe. They had that final, or I guess Sweet 16 appearance. You know, maybe somebody from that crew. Yeah, maybe but again, AJ Green has probably the longest NBA career of any UNI grad, and I think it's well deserved. The guy was an absolute monster on the court.
And you know I'm a huge AJ Green supporter, so he was so fun to watch. But yeah, he's making a hell of a career at the Milwaukee Bucks right now. Signed another contract, is in the starting lineup, so his life is good, and super proud of him.
Yep. Nate, have you been watching any Winter Olympics?
Oh, I was going to ask you the same thing. I just can't get into the Winter Olympics with basketball going on. The Summer Olympics makes sense. There's nothing going on. You're itching for sports at that time, but the Winter Olympics, I'm just not a big guy.
It's not for me either, but this is a pretty fun stat. And this is not winter. I think this is winter, summer, everything combined. The state of Iowa, a population of 3.2 million, has more gold medals, 11, than the entire country of India, a population of, I believe, 1 billion or more.
Does India even have anybody in the Winter Olympics this year?
I doubt it. It's pretty warm there.
It's funny because you see like some of those countries, like, God, who was I? I don't know, some of those countries, just 2 people when they walk off the grand entrance or the opening ceremonies. I can imagine a lot snowboarding is going on in India right now.
No, you got to imagine that's not really happening. And I have to do the split. I don't know how much of it is winter versus summer, but either way, we have medalists like Sean Johnson and the likes that have contributed to those golds, which I think is kind of cool. Then I did see a stat too that was like Norway, a population of roughly double the size of Iowa, has like double the amount of gold medals. So good for them.
I don't know. Are there any sports that India's good at? Like cricket, maybe?
Oh, I bet they. Yeah,
but cricket's not.
Cricket.
I don't think cricket's in the Olympics.
Yeah, I think it's coming, but I don't think it has.
And they got to be
You're
pissed.
Right.
We're getting flag football added to the Olympics, but India can't get cricket.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No, can you imagine India's flag football team going up against Justin Jefferson?
I mean, it would be wild. It would definitely be wild. I don't know. I've seen some athletic Indians.
Have you?
I'd like to see it. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh
Where?
yeah. They exist.
They exist?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, I believe it. I
not-
believe India is going to be on a huge comeback here soon.
They're not pinups. They're not doing well right now. That's for damn sure.
They're behind. They're definitely behind in the race. If I was ahead.
We'll come back to that. Who is doing well, Bryce? Let's get into the sports segment here. Clones. They got a massive one here, tipping off in an hour in Hilton Coliseum, and they got the job done Saturday, only 2 days ago, against the Kansas Jayhawks, one of the hottest teams in college basketball.
Fun game. What was it? About a month ago, they got beat by 18 over at
Kansas last
Lawrence.
loss. No. That's
then,
what started Kansas winning streak. My bad.
Yeah, it kind of started Iowa State's losing streak, and then or maybe right in the middle. Lost by 18 in Lawrence, and then returned the favor, 18-point win over at Hilton Coliseum this past weekend. Great bounce back win.
Yeah, snaps Kansas 8-game winning streak. Momcilovic with 18 points, 4 threes, and did you see one of his 3-point shots from that corner?
Yes, unreal.
I was at the Vine watching that, and I just gasped. I'm like, did that ball go to the fucking backboard? And just Hilton Magic was alive, and he typically is against a top 10 matchup in names, especially on a Saturday. But the crazy part is, like, that was 2 days ago. All of a sudden, they got to host the number 2 team in the country, the Houston Cougars, and Kelvin Sampson, who were at the national championship last year. This is the first time Houston has been an underdog since playing Florida in the national championship.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. Man, if they play similar defense, I think that was what was most impressive to me in the Kansas game. I think they can beat these Cougars. They're heating up at the right time. I know that we were kind of giving them shit for a while early in January, but they look great now.
Yeah, this does seem different for your typical Iowa State men's basketball teams your last couple of years. You've always had the talent, but there's always been that fall off in February and March.
Mm-hmm.
They got their shit together right now, but tonight's going to be a tester, man. Houston is arguably one of the most fundamental teams in all college basketball, year in, year out. They basically have the same player in every single position, and that's incredibly hard to stop.
They're physical. They score around the bucket, second chance points. It's like the same team I feel like I've been watching for the last 5 to 10 years.
No, it definitely is. So, God, I don't know. That's crazy. I'm going to be tipping off tonight. I can't get around that 2-day turnaround. That's quick as hell.
That is tough. Like 2 top 10 ranked games within a few days is tough.
This is probably the biggest back-to-back games in Iowa State history. You would definitely have to say.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. The Big 12 is really surged. It's just so top to bottom heavy now that, this probably is. I guess you guys will see what the results are when this podcast comes out. I'm saying right now, Iowa State wins by 2.
I'm going to go Houston just because they're so incredibly fundamental. It's like I said, they're all the same player. Houston's on vengeance tour right now, man. They deserve the national championship. One of these last years, they didn't get it. This is their year. They got to make it happen. They have, I think, the Fleming guy is like probably the projected number 2 pick in the NBA draft this year. Freshman, he's been torching everyone. Sharp, who can shoot the ball from anywhere. You might be catching Iowa State at a good time, coming off a pretty emotional win.
Yeah. Could be
wrong. I can see Iowa State going in there, beating them by freaking 15. This is where Momcilovic came on the stage, I think 2 years ago, hit a baseline fadeaway shot that kind of sealed the deal against Houston. So this could definitely go either way, but I'm going to take the Cougars on this one.
I like it. Maybe a preview to like an Elite 8 Final Four game. I actually think that one of those teams has a really good chance of going pretty far in the tournament. It's just one of those things where you get through the first couple of games, and then you see a lot of games like this, especially the last couple of years. I feel like the top-ranked seeds have really dominated the Final Four. And obviously, like you said, Houston basically had this game won last year. Nate, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I
tried watching this Iowa game.
Let me tell you about my Saturday.
We were standing in line at Simon's, and as soon as I turned it on, they were down by like 20 points with like 8 minutes left in the half. So I turned it off, and I focused on the date night. Tell me about your whole Saturday.
Yeah, that just sucked. We get to the arena. So we had a great time at the Vine. The Vine atmosphere was top-notch, and I've been waiting for this Saturday all season long. Purdue's coming to town. We're trying to energize this basketball program again, and what an opportunity, right? Braden Smith and the number 13 Purdue Boilermakers coming to Iowa City. And perfect tip-off time, 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Family's in town. We've been pre-gaming for 4 or 5 hours at the Vine. We're ready to go. We walk into the arena, you can feel the electricity. And right before tip-off, I looked at my brother and said, there's no way we lose this game today. And then I proceeded to watch us get our ass kicked for 40 straight minutes.
One of the rougher final scores. What happened here? I know you have some stats, some defensive numbers that I don't like looking at so much. What's the story of the game?
Well, we haven't talked since Iowa lost to Maryland, right? And these last 2 games have been the same. This Iowa looks so out of characteristic right now, and that's what Ben McCollum's teams are known for, right? Fundamental. It looks like they got their shit together, not a bunch of chickens running off their heads cut off. That it has not looked that way. That's what's concerning in this 2-game losing streak. We had the 3-game losing streak earlier in the season, but we were competing with those top tier teams, right? We looked fine. We just couldn't get over the hump and get that win at the end. I wasn't so concerned back then. I'm concerned right now after what I watched the last 2 games. There's no doubt about it. Clearly, Ben DeSerts isn't getting any help on the offensive end. And the most staggering part is our defense. At the beginning of the season, Iowa's defense was up in your face, right? Pressing you at half court. You felt uncomfortable the second that ball crossed the timeline. I feel like we've taken a step back, letting teams feel a little bit more comfortable in their offense approach. And the numbers will clearly tell you that, because this is from Ben Stan, one of my favorite Hawkeye burner accounts on Twitter. This is Iowa's adjusted defense by month. November, we were 33rd. December, 14th. January, 18th in the country. February, 242nd.
Well, there you go. That's not possible. Yeah, I mean, what a polar opposite to what you're seeing from Iowa State now, turning on the defensive jets. And it's making the huge. I mean, that's going to win you games late in the season. This is not the time to be playing that kind of defense. So you think is it a scheme change? Like, is that why you're not seeing the pressure? Is it a mentality?
Honestly, I don't know, and that's why I'm nervous. Nothing seems right on what they're. The lack of offense is incredibly frustrating, right? Benestarts has got to get some help. The previous 2 games, Iowa outside of Benestarts were shooting 13% from 3. You're not going to win any ball games with that. Okay, now you got to rely on your defense, and teams are just getting tipped out offensive rebounds, backdoor layups on us, baseline layups. There's just no help defense. There's no communication. Wide open 3-pointers. I haven't seen that wide open 3-pointer since Fran McCaffrey last year. And I guess the good thing you can think about these is sometimes when you're so bad in basketball, it opens your eyes, right? It allows you to really get in there and fix your mistakes. When you're squeaking by like the 6-game winning streak, you're like, oh, we're winning games. There's nothing to be fixed.
Yeah, we don't need to change much because it's like you change a few things.
But sadly, that is the only pro I could really think about this 2-game losing streak.
Who do we have coming up?
Well, we got Nebraska tomorrow night in Iowa City, 8 o'clock tip-off. Your boy will be boots on the ground again. Nervous for that one. We match up well with them, but if you let Nebraska get hot, they'll torch you in a second.
Yeah, they can shoot. They're not as big. That makes me a little bit more optimistic, but now is the kind of the time to figure things out. I don't want to be playing around that kind of defensive number for too much longer in February. You're 2 weeks away from conference tournaments and the stuff that actually matters. So this is not a good time to be looking like the 233rd ranked defense in the nation. And
Price Sanford's homecoming, right? The player that we desperately need for a second option to Benestarts this year. Man, does it hurt seeing what he's doing over there in Lincoln. I think he needs like 2 threes to be Nebraska's all-time 3-point leader in a single season, something crazy like that.
Crazy. Well, I'm glad he's having a good season. I just wish it was with us.
Yeah, I like Price Sanford a lot. I mean, it sucks. It is what it is. You lose your coach, and who wouldn't want a chance to go play for Fred Hoiberg, right? I get it. It sucks.
But how many times this year have you been like, man, it'd be sure nice to have an option to kick out and make a 3-point shot?
We're one more score away and one solid post player from being an absolute weapon in the Big Ten. And you can see the lack of physicality and the lack of size we have. It's hard to compete night in and night out. And things aren't going to get any easier for Iowa, right? You got, I think they're number nine Nebraska. And tomorrow, then you go to red hot Wisconsin. We're catching all these teams at the wrong freaking time.
All of a sudden, Wisconsin's
really freaking
super
good.
hot.
They're big. They can score. They're one of the top offensive scoring teams in the entire country. It's terrible timing for us. They come back against a pretty good Ohio State team they can never overlook. And then you got to host the number one team in the country, Michigan. There's no way.
I just saw that. Yeah, they got bumped to number one.
God.
Yeah, this is tough. Here's what I was really hoping for. That 6-game winning streak, because I knew that we, towards the end, had those bigger games. We have Nebraska twice and, Michigan coming up. You don't win those 6 games in a row, and you're looking at a really, really tough Big Ten record. I think because you take care of business, now you squeak a couple in there to finish off the regular season, and we're okay. But, man, were those 6 games big.
Man,
I really wanted that Maryland one, too.
You're right, Bryce. That's a great outlook on that. If you look back prior to those 6 games or 7 games, you say, hey, we go 6-1 here. Well, we're sitting on cake, baby. We say anything after that is icing on the cake. So that definitely put us in a good position to get into the NCAA tournament. Our goal right now is just get to the NCAA tournament. I don't care what happens. Get to the NCAA tournament. Try to get an 8-9 seed. Best case scenario, probably a 7 seed right now. But you got to squeak maybe 1 or 2 out here before the Big Ten tournament. And you have all the opportunities in the book. I don't see how we could do it right now. But I feel like our shooting, we're due to hit some threes, and that's clearly going to help things.
Yeah, I see 3 more wins. I don't know how either. And hand up. I hope you're right. I haven't been watching. I missed the last 2. We got at least 3.
I see why you say it now. We have not. We look rough right now, Bryce. It's tough to watch. We're missing 2-3 foot shots down to the paint. Basketball is not pretty right now. Hell, what we score? We scored 57 fucking points last game, and then we lost to arguably the worst team in the Big Ten prior to that, and we tried to lose it in Northwestern the game before that. So it's like I said. Hopefully,
here's what I got for you, Nate. 1 of 2 against Nebraska, Ohio State, and either Penn State or Wisconsin. That's where you get your 3.
I forgot about the Penn State game. We'll see.
That's optimistic. Hey. And you have a better eye on this team right now than I do. I've missed the last couple. And I'm glad. Oh, my God, am I glad that I missed it, because I have optimism still. And I know that Ben McCollum can right this ship. Maybe it's foolish optimism, but I do believe in these Hawks.
I'm riding with,
like you said, make the tournament.
Yeah, things are ugly right now, but I'm riding with these boys. It's going to get better. This is clearly the low of the season. There's no doubt about it. They know it. They're not fucking stupid. They know they got to hit shots. They got to help Benesters. They got to increase the defense intensity here. The quote of the season is impose your will, right? We haven't had that in the last 2 games. Bring that back.
Definitely not. And Nate, here's the thing that maybe it helps being bird's eye view and not so in the weeds on this. I think you overhype a loss. At the end of the day, that's 1 loss in the column, right? Now, it makes you a little worried for how things will go, but at the end of the day, if you keep your eyes set, you impose your will maybe a couple times, maybe it's not 3, but 1 or 2 more times, maybe you start to right that ship. At the end of the day, it's just 1 game at a time.
Buckle up, because it could get rough here the next couple of weeks, but I was sitting in a pretty darn good position right now. Get 1 or 2 more wins here. Hopefully, should be Penn State, and then get 1 or 2 on top of that. Then you're locked for the NCAA tournament right now. I think they're standing like a 98% chance to get in, but things could switch real quick here as your schedule gets incredibly more difficult. I think the remaining schedule of college basketball, they have the 10th hardest remaining schedule from here on out. So it's it's not so different from Iowa State. No, Big 12
number 1 in the nation.
Yep.
Number 9.
Big 12's there.
That's tough.
Everything's kind of cannibalizing itself, and that's typically what happens here at as we get closer to March. So buckle up, people. Just give me a ride. All right, let's wrap up this episode. We're gonna be ranking the top 5 actors/actresses from the state of Iowa.
Let's do it, Nate. I kind of went off of a couple criteria here. 1, was it a blockbuster film? 2, do I like them? 3, did I grow up watching them? Okay.
Your list is going to be a lot better based off mine, how you rank. I think I just look at name popularity. It's basically how I went with mine, and then slightly with the film they were in.
That's fine. We have to also cover the bases. Like if we all of a sudden leave off a legendary actor from Iowa, that seems like a crime. So I'm glad you did it that way. We have a little diversity then.
Cool.
Nate, I'll kick us off with Michelle Monaghan. And this name might go over a lot of people's heads, but she has been in quite a bit of stuff lately. Most recently, White Lotus, I think, is probably her biggest role. She was also in Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn and Eagle Eye, a couple really good movies in the 2000s.
What the hell are these movies? Have you seen them?
Oh, those are shows. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, shows.
My bad.
Okay.
Yes. Good shows too.
Okay.
Good shows. White Lotus might not be your cup of tea. I could see you like in Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn.
I love Vince Vaughn. Vince. I really like Vince Vaughn actually.
I wish he was
we got a current actress. I like that. Some of mine are older names, so I like to see some fresh blood in here. Speaking of older names, Bryce, my number 5 here is Donna Reed from It's a Wonderful Life. Okay.
Oh yeah,
the wife of George Bailey in the movie. If you have any affiliation with It's a Wonderful Life, arguably one of the most impactful Christmas movies of the century, you're going to be on this list, especially if you're from Iowa. So, shout out to Donna Reed. Big role,
great poll,
big role in that movie. Too.
Okay, I forgot to mention Michelle is from Winthrop. Where's Donna from?
Denison, I think.
That sounds right.
Denison.
We can always backlog this too. What's your number 4?
Elijah Wood from Cedar Rapids.
Oh wow, I would have guessed he was higher.
From Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Yeah, I forget about him every now and then. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago. I think he was born on this date in Iowa. Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn, I forgot about Elijah Wood. So that's my problem. He's just always in the back of my head for some reason, even though I love Lord of the Rings. I just
love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so I think why I watched Lord of the Rings, I never knew that while in the show he was actually from Iowa. Now that I haven't, ever since I learned that fact, I haven't gone back and rewatched it, and I'm sure that would help me appreciate him a little bit more. But still big time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Elijah also on my list. I will say I don't like the character Frodo. I think he's kind of a sandbagger. I think Samwise Gamgee kind of carries him.
A little bitch.
But yeah, he is a main character, and it qualifies for this list. But yeah, I wasn't a huge Frodo fan. Liked his uncle a little bit better in those Hobbit movies. Nate, my number 4, Adam Devine. I did preview him earlier in this show. I've seen him live doing a stand-up comedy, but he is in movies like Workaholic, or maybe that's a show. Great stand-up comedian, great actor as well. Funny guy.
Love Adam Devine.
Waterloo, Iowa. I'll circle back with Elijah Wood. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of his acting ability in those movies, but he is the main character, and he eventually gets the job done, despite all of Gollum's efforts. Elijah Wood from Cedar Rapids, number 3.
Sounds like our guys are kind of in the same tier here, Bryce, because my number 3 is Adam Devine. I think Adam Devine is one of the funniest actors out there. I absolutely love him. I feel like you either absolutely hate him or you absolutely love him.
Yes.
Actor.
I don't think that he appeals to the female crowd as much, but he definitely scratches a niche for me in the comedy scene.
For degenerate boys like us, he is a funny son of a bitch on that screen. And people forget, from Waterloo, Iowa, born.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun. I get to see kind of like almost like a homecoming show for him. And then kind of before Adam Ray was big too. So great show. Adam Devine, yeah, he's good. He's solid.
All right. My number 2, Bryce, here is probably the biggest name on this list when you think of Hollywood, John Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't put him at number 1. He's not my timeline.
We didn't grow up with him.
Right? We didn't grow up with him.
Because Nate, he is my number 2 as well.
Did
and I would have put him higher, but I just didn't watch a lot of his movies growing up. I did just watch Rio Grande with him in it, but I did not grow up with a lot of John Wayne.
Did you see that USC was claiming John Wayne?
Yeah, I did see that.
I would do the same thing if someone's born in California and played football at Iowa, but it's not okay.
Yeah.
He's born in Iowa and played football at USC, and he's ours.
It's a tough one. When we do these rankings, so like most famous people from Iowa, right? A couple of years ago, I think we included Joe Burrow because he was born in Ames, Iowa. But in almost no other way is he related to the state of Iowa. So it's just a tough one. Like, who gets to claim him?
Who's the person that switched their sex that's related to the Jenners? What's his name or her name?
Caitlyn Jenner?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Like the dad?
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner. He went to wherever the college is in Lamoni, Iowa. And that's where he competed for athletics. So I claim him because of that. But if anybody else did that to a different state, there's no way. I ain't letting that shit slip. So
okay, I actually love that. Like if they were born here, we get to claim them, and then if they came here, we get to. And yeah, I guess that's probably what everyone else is doing too. But I claim John Wayne.
Definitely.
From Winterset, Iowa. Never been to the birthplace. We just drove past it. That's pretty close to where we're getting married here in May, but I've never been to the birthplace. Old Winterset.
So he was your number 2?
And my final one, Nate, is Ashton Kutcher from Cedar Rapids.
Got to be.
I put Ashton at number 1 just because I think I've probably seen the most movies from him. He's always been kind of a funny, goofy guy. Dude, where's my car? We just watched Valentine's Day, the movie, on Valentine's morning, and he's a great character in that too. Almost everything I see from him is awesome. So Ashton Kutcher from Cedar Rapids is my number 1.
Yeah, clearly my number 1 too. I think is the biggest. When someone asks you this question, who's the most famous person from Iowa? It's always ringing Ashton Kutcher in the back of my head. Clearly, his impact from that '70s show, and probably one of the coolest road to fame stories out there. I think he was just at a random bar because he attended the University of Iowa, and an agent walked in and says, "Damn, that's a damn good looking guy. Hey, you want to be on the?"
That's what happened. I've never heard this story.
90% sure that's what happened. Obviously, a little bit more to that, but what a fucking story, right?
What a wild ride! Like all of a sudden, you're just like, yep, you're in a movie.
That agent's got an eye because it worked out pretty damn well.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like pure acting ability, who am I to judge? But I would say probably not that high. But he has been in a lot of big movies. Put our state on the map a little bit.
Can you imagine that agent walking in a bar, seeing you and I sitting there? Definitely not those two.
You're coming to Hollywood. yeah. Oh yeah. How many agents and talent reps and have we passed? And they're just like, ooh, yeah, no. No.
Oh, fuck us. That's why we're on our
good
podcast.
Rankings. That was a fun one.
Yeah, not a whole lot of options, to be honest. I really only knew 5 names.
Yeah.
I thought there would be more. There's a lot of famous people from Iowa, but it's not a lot of famous actors and actresses.
Yeah, and what is it about like Ohio? Ohio has LeBron James and the Pauls and Deerdeck, and they have so many famous people. The Kelsey brothers.
Ohio always gets me. They have so many populated cities. The population of Ohio is ridiculous, right?
Yes.
Columbus, Toledo, these massive cities, Cleveland. You can go on for
Cincinnati.
With
it's just never ending big city. Huh?
So Ohio is way more populated than people think, so hence you're going to get a better chance. But shout out to the top 5 list right there, representing the state of Iowa. We're proud of you. We love you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thanks for putting us on the map.
All right, people. Well, enjoy the weather for at least half this week, and then we're going to deal with some bullshit here, but nothing us Iowans can't handle here. And good luck to the basketball teams because the spotlight right now is on the state of Iowa.
Yeah, I'm going to tune into this Iowa State game, but I will talk to you next week.
All right, we'll see you guys.